So this is probably the most common question that I get. The chemical composition is 85% water, 7% phosphoric acid, and the other 8% the inventor's not giving up as a trade secret. Now, my official answer is to check with your local regulations and laws as far as disposal goes. But should you ever have a spill and need to dispose of it, I've found in most states and counties that you are able to simply just dilute it with water and put it down the drain. Again, check with your local laws and regulations. Yes, proper PPE are safety glasses and gloves. Some other special safety considerations are that the cart uses an air diaphragm pump versus an electric pump. We use that one because most shops have air, or at least I haven't been in one that doesn't have it, so you don't have to run an electrical cord. And two, the air diaphragm pump will actually shut off and cease operation should you run into a blockage. That way a line doesn't pop or anything. So that's another special safety consideration. Initial cleanings do take the longest. I've had some as short as 1 hour and some as long as 8 hours. The goal here is to get your cooling passages back down to bare metal. So if your tool is really bad and you can use an endoscopic camera for a visual inspection or a flow meter for GPM readings, you will want to spend time, again, if they're really bad, on one specific circuit, maybe two or a quadrant of your tool. From there on out, every time you go to PM that tool, you can simply just jump all the circuits and you can flush the whole mold at once. Most secondary and tertiary PMs average about 1 to 2 hours of flush time. Yes, the EcoPro 360 won't etch any metal surfaces. Some rubber compounds and seals that you have, over time you will notice that it will actually swell up and dry rot. Some of those seals that are not affected are EPDM, PTFE, that's what we have in the cart. Those are acid resistant compounds. Other similar seals that you'll find in your shops, Viton, nylon, silicone, those things of those nature. I do have time studies going on. As of right now, we're about the 2-week time frame. Nothing has happened to those seals, but I would imagine given 8, 9, 10 months that those will swell up and dry rot. As far as metals go, any non-ferrous metals, you're likely to run into beryllium, copper, aluminum, brass are probably the most common alloys that I run into shops. If you do leave it on those alloys, it will have kind of like a staining effect. It won't etch any of the metals. So though in those instances, if you're flushing whole tools, for example, or a closed mold, I always tell users back flush with water when you're done flushing out with the EcoPro 360 as your best bet. So the life expectancy of the unit, obviously the pump is the most crucial part of the EcoPro 360 cart. It's about 3 million strokes, which translates to pretty much 8 months of continuous use, or 13 hours a day. Most users are using it for 1 to 2 hours at a time, maybe 10 hours at most on a week. So the pump itself should last you quite a number of years. As far as warranty goes, everything has a 1-year replacement on it. The most common item needing replaced is the filter that I'm holding here. That is dependent upon how bad your water actually is, how often you're using your unit, things of that nature. I've had some filters last as little as 10 minutes. Granted, that facility was next to a concrete plant. You can imagine all the particles in the air. Whereas I've had some users that get by using 1, maybe 2 filters on an annual basis. So the other common area, I don't know if you can see up here, at the top of that filter housing unit is a bypass on the filter. I have had a couple users that turned it the wrong way, and when they met resistance, they simply forced it and snapped it off. So